Welcome back to Michelle's Podcast News, the daily update on what's happening around the podcasting community of companies, technologies, and partnerships. I'm your host, Michelle Tandler, and today we've got some exciting news to cover. Let's dive right in with the latest from Edison Research. They've just announced the top 50 podcasts in the United States for the second quarter of 2024. This ranking is based on reach among weekly podcast listeners aged 13 and older. The data comes from Edison Podcast Metrics, which continuously conducted interviews throughout the quarter in both English and Spanish. Rankings are based on listening over the full period, and all respondents reported listening to podcasts in the last week. Staying strong at the top of the list are the Joe Rogan Experience, Crime Junkie, and The Daily, which have all held their positions from the first quarter into the second quarter of 2024. It's no surprise to see these popular shows maintaining their dominance. But there's plenty of movement elsewhere in the rankings. Call Her Daddy, hosted by Alex Cooper and available on Megaphone, has climbed back into the top 5 for the first time since the second quarter of 2023. Meanwhile, New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelce, hosted on Megaphone by Wave Sports Plus Entertainment, has dropped 10 spots to number 14, likely influenced by the football offseason. Newcomers to the top 50 include Dropouts, which has debuted at number 41. This podcast has been gaining traction thanks to extensive media coverage from an East Coast tour and crossover episodes with Tana Mongeau of Cancelled with Tana Mongeau. Another new entry is You Should Know Podcast, securing the number 42 spot, driven by a successful tour in May and June. Edison Research's ranking is derived from data collected continuously during the second quarter of 2024. They interviewed 5,206 weekly podcast consumers aged 13 and older in the United States. Participants indicated which podcasts they listened to in the past week, along with a variety of demographic, psychographic, and purchase behavior information. This ranker measures reach as a percentage of the weekly podcast listening audience. For those of you interested in diving deeper into the data, the full list of podcasts is available as an OPML file, which you can import into your podcast app to subscribe to all 50. A little bit about Edison Research. They conduct survey research and provide strategic information to a broad array of clients worldwide. Their The Infinite Dial series has been the survey of record for digital audio, social media, podcasting, smart speakers, and other media-related technologies since 1998. Their Share of Ear survey is the only single-source measure of all audio in the United States. Edison Research is the leading podcast research company in the world, producing the only survey-based data on podcast listening in the United States through Edison Podcast Metrics. They've also conducted research for many companies in the space. Since 2004, Edison Research has been the sole provider of election data, race projections, and analysis to the National Election Pool, which includes ABC News, CBS News, CNN, and NBC News for every presidential primary and general election. Now, let us shift gears a bit and talk about an interesting piece from Drovers, specifically the Casual Cattle Conversations podcast. The host, Shay Kuster-Warner, recently shared 5 lessons she has learned from 5 years of podcasting about the beef industry. Her insights are not only relevant to cattlemen and women, but also to anyone interested in podcasting and entrepreneurship. The first lesson Shay highlights is that it will take all kinds of kinds. She has had conversations with ranchers who operate on different scales, with various goals and marketing strategies. According to Shay, diversity in production practices, marketing strategies, size, and location allows beef producers to meet the diverse needs of consumers. Whether people prefer to shop for beef in grocery stores or buy directly from the producer, this diversity helps build trust and demand for high-quality protein sources. Shay's second lesson is you can learn something from everyone. The diversity within the beef industry creates countless learning opportunities. She stresses the importance of being willing to listen and reflect on different opinions and business models. For instance, Shay observes that while she disagrees with fear-mongering marketing strategies, she still looks at how people respond to these messages to understand their concerns. This lesson was foundational during the first year of hosting Casual Cattle Conversations and continues to be a guiding principle. The third lesson is, there is no such thing as an average Joe. Shay notes that many cattlemen and women underestimate the uniqueness and impact of their stories. She believes that every person has a story filled with ingenuity, resilience, passion, and faith. Sharing these stories is crucial for building trust and can be a key component of a marketing strategy. According to Shay, keeping these stories to ourselves does not allow others to learn from our experiences. The fourth lesson, times are supposed to change, addresses the cyclical nature of cattle markets. Shay highlights that while high cattle prices are great, the markets will eventually drop. She encourages ranchers to find ways to manage risk and enjoy the ride, appreciating both the good and bad times. This mindset helps to make the most of every season, whether it is related to markets, weather, labor challenges, or other factors. Lastly, Shay's fifth lesson is, ranchers are the true leaders of the world. She believes that cattlemen and women are true leaders because they understand the importance of operating a profitable business while acting for the greater good. They work with Mother Nature, continuously learn, and make improvements. Shay emphasizes that ranchers do more than provide a nutrient-dense protein source. They set the tone for how to care for the planet and leave it better than they found it. Shay's reflections are a testament to the power of podcasting in sharing valuable insights and fostering a sense of community among listeners. Her lessons remind us that diversity, learning from others, sharing stories, adapting to change, and leadership are crucial elements in any industry. And that wraps up our episode for today. I hope you found these insights as inspiring as I did. Thank you for tuning in to Michelle's Podcast News. Join us again tomorrow for more updates from the podcasting world. Until then, happy listening